If I'm Ruben, then you Clay Aiken, but second place gets nothing. So get up at this godforsaken booth. The truth is you sadly mistaken. Proof I'm better than layman. Shoot, I'm super.
The Owen Hart Foundation has partnered with AEW to create the Owen Cup, which is the Owen Hart tournament that will be taking place in AEW. This deal apparently will also have a lot of merchandise for Owen Hart. He will also be a playable character in the video game. There will be action figures, t-shirts, all sorts of things. This is a huge W for the Owen Hart fan base, and it will hopefully provide some type of closure to a fan base that for a long time has wanted Owen Hart's name to be alive and well in the wrestling space. For a long time, WWE was the only way to really get Owen's name out there, because that's where most of his material is. But a lot of people don't realize Owen Hart wrestled in Stampede, which I'm pretty sure Martha probably has that kind of that footage. Also, the New Japan stuff. So, while a huge chunk of Owen Hart's career is in the WWE, he does have a career outside of WWE that they can celebrate. So that's my personal opinion. Now, I did see that this turned into a flame war. This is people who are completely against this because AEW has no real connection to Owen Hart. Therefore, it is AEW in some ways exploiting Owen Hart. And then there is the anti-Martha brigade who are saying, hey, Martha is obviously just, allowing AEW to exploit the family and this sort of thing. This should be about Owen Hart. Me personally, I am happy that his fan base, there's a lot of Owen Hart fans, of which I am one of them. I watched Owen Hart from when he was in high energy to his unfortunate death in the WWF. I am a huge fan of Owen Hart. I don't care that AEW wants to honor Owen Hart. Every wrestling company should honor Owen Hart. I'm not one of those people who are going to be that's so pro Martha that it's F everybody who has anything to say about her. I did see some people say that. You're not allowed to tell her what she should be doing. It's like, well, that respect should be placed upon anybody. When you write in your articles that Vince McMahon should pay people this, where he should be booking somebody to do that, that's not your business. Just like, it's not our business at all who Martha chooses to do business with, right? It is her and the family. This is what they want to do, her and the kids. But I don't see how Brett or anyone else will have a problem with honoring Owen Hart. So to me, it's a win for the fans. It's a good thing for the fans, and that's what I'm thinking about. But for some reason, some people seem bothered by this. And I can tell that they seem bothered by it, by the way it was announced, and by, certain things that are around it. So unfortunately, something that should have been universally accepted and universally liked has turned into a flame war by people saying Owen Hart is all elite. And we're just kind of like, okay, look, it's the Owen Hart Foundation, and it's still good. It's a charity. They do great things. Let's leave it at that. Let's just do the tournament. Hopefully they do it in May. I think that's when Owen Hart's birthday is. This is a great thing. They want to have the Owen Cup. This is awesome. Let's do it. At this point, man, Owen, the way he died, he belongs to the wrestling business, not just to the WWF. He has, a lot of material from Stampede and from New Japan that they can use. He might not be able to use any of his WWF material, but that's okay. It's all right. Just because the family has animosity, that ain't got nothing to do with us, the fans, right? Whatever animosity the family has amongst each other with wrestling companies, none of that got something to do with Owen. We should be happy that Owen's name is being used, that he's out there, that you once again can buy merchandise with his face on it. You might even be able to play with him in the video game. I mean, that's a fucking positive. How people turn that into a negative is beyond me. And look, it's on both sides. Because I get that, a lot of the AEW fan base, they have took this to F you, Vince. We got Owen Hart, man. Tony Khan trying to exploit the death of Owen Hart. I don't know. The fan base certainly is. The fan base is certainly taking this as an FU to WWE, and it's a thumb to the eye of Vince McMahon. It's a thumb to the eye of the WWE that we're going to honor Owen Hart. Owen Hart is all elite. It's like, well, look, Owen Hart's not going to show up on the show, right? He's been dead for 20 years. He's not going to show up on the show and all of a sudden, be all elite. This tug of war for Owen Hart just doesn't seem to make much sense. It's ultimately up to the family who gets to use Owen Hart's name and who gets to use Owen Hart's intellectual property, which they own. So at the end of the day, well, the part of Owen Hart's intellectual property that they own. At the end of the day, Martha and the family have chosen that AEW is they're gonna split some of the profits with them. I'm not sure if it's profits or it's proceeds, but in either event, this is what they have chosen to do. The AEW fan base, as toxic and stupid as they are, I'm not gonna let them ruin this. But the WWE fans who are super angry because Owen Hart ain't got nothing to do with them, do the Brody Lee tournament. And you know what? I agree with that latter part. Do the Brody Lee tournament. The Owen Hart tournament seems a little extra, but at the same time, I was kind of like, wait, look, Owen Hart belongs to the wrestling business. To be quite honest, all the wrestlers belong to the wrestling business. They just work in one place or another for a longer period of time or a shorter period of time. Everybody can show respect when somebody passes away or when somebody dies, even if they didn't work there. Because this is cool. This is good for the average Joe wrestling fan who was a fan of Owen Hart, who now is going to see, hey, this is kind of cool. This is all right. Because for 20 years, people have not really been given an opportunity to really celebrate Owen. A lot of it has been contentious. A lot of it has been, and that's the sad part about this, is that something that could have been taken universally as positive has been turned into something that almost 50-50 positive and negative, as usual. For years with Owen Hart, it has been nothing but negativity. Whether it's books that have come out that have caused flame wars in the anti-WWE versus the sort of pro-WWE, because nobody's really like super WWE fan base. Even the WWE fans are critical of it, unlike the AEW fan base, which is almost like a church sermon sometimes. Even those people, when the Dark Side of the Ring episode came out, it was a flame war. When the books come out, it's a flame war. Every time Martha is around, it's a fight for the ghost of Owen Hart. And it's like, there is no fight. There is no fight. Wrestling fans have to realize Owen Hart's intellectual property belongs to the family. They will do whatever they want with it. I'm not tripping on AEW wanting to show love to Owen Hart. Good. And I'm not sitting back thinking about how all the other Harts feel. Unless they say something about it, I don't have an opinion on it. I'm assuming all the Harts are going to be cool with this. Why wouldn't they be? This is a good opportunity for everybody to celebrate Owen. Why is that negative? It shouldn't be a negative. It shouldn't be no problems with that. So for me, I'm okay with it. Now I do beg the question, why Owen Hart? Like, I know this is probably a Chris Jericho idea. It might have been an idea of somebody backstage in AEW. Still, it's a good thing. I'm choosing to look at it as a positive. But at the same time, man, I could be cynical, and there's some cynical parts of me. For instance, just to be honest and upfront, I asked the question to myself, is AEW just doing this because they're reaching for validation? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. But this is a good opportunity to provide some type of healing, not just for the fans, but also for the family. Because it is now, they don't have to rely on WWE anymore. That's cool, because that's where the heat is. And the heat isn't just that Owen died. It was a bunch of other stuff that took place after that. But it's something for the fans. And I'm choosing to say that the fan base, this is a win. Just because they choose to take this positive and try to turn it into a negative and try to attack the WWE, Vince McMahon, even other WWE fans personally try to attack you for it. That's not what it's for. That's not even what it's about. It's about Owen Hart. We should all be honoring Owen Hart, you know, and AEW chooses to do that. I'm okay with it, but I am noting that he has no connection whatsoever with AEW. He died 20 years before AEW was even formed. So, but I mean, it is what it is. So it's like, you know, you do have to ask the question, it's going to be like a King Kong Bundy Memorial Battle Royal or something like that. We're going to have, you know, the Andrew Test Martin ladder match memorial or some crazy stuff like that. Like, I don't know. You know, these guys can do whatever they want. But all I can tell you is, to me, it seems like a good thing for the fans. And if it can help the fans heal, it's good. I'm 100% okay with that. Martha, whatever, Tony Khan, whatever, is good for the fans. And it's good for people who knew Owen to see his name celebrated as it should be. So that's my whole opinion of the Owen Hart Memorial Cup.